Hey guys, again, it is Damien, of course. And tonight I've got a video I wanted to do in regards to selling your food on eBay. I'm going to give you actually 5 reasons why I personally, when I started my business, it was actually on eBay. And I've had some pretty good memories, actually, to be honest with you, of when it started. And I had a lot of good interactions with customers on eBay. But I will give you 5 reasons why I would say eBay over Amazon and Etsy if you're starting, okay? And I'm going to give you those reasons. So let's get started really quick. Okay, so you want to sell your food product, you want to do it online. You're at that point, you've got a facility, you're good to go, you've got people, you're manufacturing, you're making some products, but you don't have an online presence. If you start off with your own website, I don't recommend doing that, okay, right off the bat. Because there's a lot of reasons in regards to SEO, being found online, and all that good stuff, which really should come later when you've established some type of online presence within an existing platform, okay? When I say the word platform, what that means is that is a website that you already can use and you can kind of begin this process like Amazon, Etsy, eBay, etc. Those types of e-commerce sites are good places to get your kind of get your feet wet in a sense and to get started, okay? And then from there, then you could build into opening other stores on other platforms, and even you do a Shopify store if you want, or if you go to Weebly, whatever works for you. So, why eBay is a good part? 5 reasons. Number 1, eBay, as of today, their interface, their platform is very easy to build a store, build listings, build products within their format, the way that they've got it set up. If you want to list a product and you're relatively new to selling online, you've never done it before, eBay has now made it extremely easy compared to where it was when I started this about 10 years ago. There's just quite a bit involved with the actual template of where you're plugging your information, your photos. It has become very easy, okay? So the ease to use eBay, I feel the ease to use eBay is actually the number 1 reason, okay? The number 1 reason is just that. It's just that now, with the capacity that they have, the ability for you to upload information, upload your product, it's become so smooth and almost literally effortless that you're not going to pull your hair out trying to figure out how to actually sell a product online, okay? Number 2, built-in customer base. Hands down, I say this because eBay is much bigger than, of course, Etsy, but it is smaller in a sense compared to Amazon. eBay is still very big, but it is not Amazon. Now, when you sell on Amazon, there's a bit of you almost want to say a learning curve. There's a lot to kind of know and things to understand and what's allowed and what's not. And how you list a product, there's more to it than there really is on eBay. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the one in the middle in a sense. It's not as big as Amazon, but it is bigger than Etsy. But the reach, the customer base, there's already millions of billions all over the world who use eBay, and you literally have the capacity to get a chance to sell to all of these people. Etsy doesn't have that large of a following yet. It is growing. But when it comes to if you're reselling food, maybe you're doing that, you can't necessarily do that on Etsy, okay? Etsy is strictly a marketplace for handmade products. You don't necessarily have a market for taking a handful of granola bars and reselling it and making a profit, okay? So it has a built-in customer base, okay? And that's just a great thing. This is the number 1 reason why I say don't build a website right off the bat, okay? Because in order for you to get that customer base or even come close to what eBay has, you're talking years of SEO, you're talking a website that's maxed out, perfectly made, you've got all kinds of keywords, and it becomes this big thing, okay? And trust me, you don't want to get into that right off the bat. You need to get your feet wet, you need to get a sampling of how it is to sell online, and then take that jump and then build yourself a website. Like I said before in my videos, I had to build my website 3 times. And I did it with GoDaddy, HostGator, and finally with Weebly. A lot of people jump up and down about Shopify, and I actually have checked out Shopify. Shopify is a great site to build a website on, don't get me wrong. Weebly and Shopify, in my honest opinion, is very close with regards to its platform and how you can actually build a site. It's drag and click, super simple. So, all right, so number 2, built-in customers. You've got them there already. You post your products, you put your keywords, you're up and running, okay? So number 3, what I was just mentioning before, the global reach. Not only the customer base itself, but you have the opportunity to literally sell product to all over the countries everywhere, okay? Now, the one thing about eBay, in comparison to Amazon, when you want to sell internationally on Amazon, there's a little bit more that you need to do in order to make that happen. eBay has a much more simplistic feature. Just in there's one line of feature. You check the countries that you're willing to ship to, okay? And you've pretty much allowed yourself to open up to those countries and sell. Amazon is a little bit more involved, and that's kind of like a whole nother video, and I don't want to get into that right now. But it's not necessarily just clicking a few boxes, but it does, again, of course, Amazon has a ridiculous global reach to sell products, and you can sell to European markets and Asian markets. It's gigantic, okay? But this one here is a little more simplistic, and again, if you're just starting out, go this route, okay? And all of this, the thing with this is that all of these features are right on the page where you list your product. As you scroll down, you simply just check off where you want to allow your product to be sold or where you want to ship to, and you're good to go. Okay? So, number 4, it's kind of like something I mentioned on number 1, but number 4 is it's great to start on eBay because in comparison to Etsy and Amazon. Now, I'll tell you why. Another reason why. If you're not fully and completely making and hand making a product, you have to sell on Etsy everything that's made by your hands, okay? It's a handmade, handcrafted website. So again, if you're in the business to buy and flip and resell, Etsy is completely out to begin with, okay? But if you're looking to sell something that you've made, or maybe you want to incorporate some stuff that you make and then some stuff that you're actually reselling, eBay is fantastic. They make it super simple. There's no category approvals per se. But when you list a food product, of course, you need to check off that you've read their little disclosure about selling food, making sure that it's not expired, it's in the original packaging, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Amazon, don't get me wrong, Amazon is amazing. It is gigantic. But Amazon has, of course, the category you have to be approved in. There's a few hoops that you have to jump through, and there's some things that you got to do prior to even getting yourself looked at for approval to sell in the category, okay? So again, it's a little more tedious, a little more involved. eBay, it's a little more flexible in that sense, okay? Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, if you are a business, okay, you're a legitimate business, food producer, you're manufacturing, you're a legitimate business, okay? When you register with eBay as a seller and you want to have a store, register your business with them. They will get your EIN number, okay, and they're going to ask you a lot of business questions and such. How are you incorporated? Are you sole proprietorship, LLC, et cetera, okay? But for instance, when I registered my company with eBay to sell as a business, which I'm a candy business, the selling limit was gigantic, okay? I think it was we're up to about 70,000 a month. They actually, that's not what we sell on eBay, by the way. I don't want to have you jump up and down, but they give us a sales limit of about 70,000 a month, and we do pretty well on eBay. As you know, I don't like to get into numbers, but they do give us an enormous limit, and because of that, being registered as a business, they're going to ask you questions, what your sales history is, that type of stuff. How many products are you looking to list, et cetera, et cetera. They give you a larger span. If you register as a normal, traditional eBay seller, they start you off with like a couple grand or $5,000 a month or something, and that's not bad. But as a business, and you're going to want to list 100 products, 200, maybe even 1,000 products, having the capacity and the ability to sell 70,000 a month, way, way better, okay? So lastly, the number 5 is the sales limit. The sales limit is huge. Now, don't get me wrong, on Etsy, they don't have any sales limits either. If you sell $1 million a month every month, fantastic. They're just going to take their fees and call it a day. But again, the reach for Etsy is not even close, if you're producing your own products, not even close to the reach of eBay, okay? Over the past couple years since Etsy went public in its IPO, the company has gained more exposure and, of course, funds and capital to grow its business to make its brand awareness and get more sellers and more buyers. And so yeah, that's increased over the years. But still, eBay's the way to go. So those are my 5 tips. I hope I explained those to you and you understand how that works. If you don't, ask me a question down below. I will help you as soon as I can. And lastly, if you like my videos, please do give me some support and a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. That is perfectly fine. I like honest opinion. So I hope this helps you out. Stick with eBay. Start off there first and then roll yourself into something bigger and better. And those reasons are reasons that I personally have experienced and I recommend to you to take advantage of. Thanks, guys.